What's up, guys? Iceman here. So, there's been an announcement for Diablo Resurrected where this upcoming season, which I think is later this month, is going to have no changes or updates. All right? You remember how, there's been a lot of guys making videos on it? Like these little videos about how everybody wants a loot filter, how crafting supplies, or at least gems and runes, should be stackable, maybe a couple more stash tabs. Some are even going as far as to ask for new rune words, but I don't really think that's what we need. I just want a damn loot filter, stackable gems and runes, and I'd be quite pleased. So basically 5 minutes of work, right? About 5 minutes. But it seems like we're not going to get any of that. Now, Iceboy isn't quite surprised at this, and I'm curious if any of you guys are. Let me know in the comments below. But according to my speculation, the reason as to why they're doing this is because they're trying to get the Diablo 2 guys like us, they're trying to get us to go over and play Diablo 4. So they're like, well, hold on. If we don't do anything that they would like us to do for Diablo 2, that a lot of the fans have already done in the mods of Diablo 2, like Project Diablo 2 and Path of Diablo, if that's still a thing. If we don't do any of those things that they want, hopefully they won't play Diablo 2. So they'll just maybe move over to Diablo 4. But man, I don't think that's going to work. Does that make you want to go play Diablo 4? The fact that they're just giving no changes to this upcoming season for Diablo 2 Resurrected? Let me know in the comments below. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's a pretty poor strategy. And here's some more basis for my theory, all right? I've done some research on this shit. So Diablo 3, you guys remember that game? It's kind of ass, right? But I know that some people still play it. And I actually played it. I put 800 hours into it when it first released. I was trying to convince myself it was a good game. But strangely enough, according to my evaluation now, Diablo 3 is actually a better game than Diablo 4. But that's that. So what's interesting is, I think here's their strategy. They don't give us any updates for Diablo 2 Resurrected, right? So that we're like, oh, that really sucks. Like, how far less people are going to be playing this season than if they, say, had some nice changes. So then what they also did, they're like, well, wait, what can we do with Diablo 3 to make people not want to play it? And what they did is they put a cap on the Paragon level. I don't think anyone's asked for this, right? I wasn't really into that with Diablo 3, how you just had to keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and your numbers just go up a little tiny bit every time, just a little tiny bit. There was no big heights, euphoric escalations and shit. If you found like an awesome item, there wasn't much of that at all. The heights that Diablo 2 has to offer, for example. But there was just that slow grind where at least if you're playing every day, you're gaining a little tiny bit. And maybe if you get another Paragon level, you can put 5 more points into intelligence or something. So what's interesting is they took that away. And that was like the only thing that Diablo 3 was about. Because like I said, there's no like rare runes or anything like that. There's no super rare items. There are super rare items, but they're just the same damn thing as your other item, only the numbers are just a little bit higher. So it's not that euphoric thing that you get in a game like Diablo 2 where it's actually like a game-changing item. There's nothing like that in Diablo 3. So the one thing that it had, they decided to put a cap on it. The Paragon is now capped at 800, where it used to be 20,000, which many would consider infinite because in a single season it was, to my understanding, nearly impossible to reach that. So is that weird? They intentionally butchered both of these games because they know that the new season for Diablo 4 is coming up soon. They've already announced that. They announced it just a couple weeks in because I think everyone left. Man, I'm really not trying to talk too much shit about Diablo 4, but it's just weird what they're doing. How they're intentionally trying to make people not play their old games. Hopefully they don't try to shut down Project Diablo 2. You don't think they're going to do that, do you? Because isn't Project Diablo 2 on the old servers that initially Blizzard announced before D2R was released that they were going to keep up the old servers? And that allowed for things like Project Diablo 2 to exist? What if they crunch down on that shit? We're just going to have to go outside or something. I'm just going to have to put down my keyboard and mouse. And just go do something else, I guess. But maybe they won't do that. And at least they haven't done it yet. So Project Diablo 2 is a thing, right? And it's a lot of the stuff that many of us have asked for D2R. It's like Diablo 2 expanded on. And they didn't butcher the character models. They're not all guys. You know, you still have the female assassin. You still have the female Amazon. You still have the female sorceress. So there's the variety there. It's the original art. You know, they didn't intentionally make them all ugly as fuck and whatever else they did. So there is that at least. But it is artwork. The backgrounds and all that. And the towns. It's artwork, all right? So at least there's that in Project Diablo 2. They made it widescreen now, and the frame rate is nice and smooth. So I recommend, if you are interested in Diablo 2, to try out Project Diablo 2. All right, I finally gave it a try years ago, after like a year or two went by of me just playing on Battle.net, making videos, and just the comments just kept getting more and more frequent. Iceman, try Path of Diablo. And then Iceman, try Project Diablo. So eventually I gave in, right? And I was very pleased that I did. You have a ton of stash tabs. You have a lot of revised skills. A lot of the uniques have been reworked to actually be usable. A few things have been nerfed that were extremely overpowered, but just a lot of balance has been done. There's a lot of viable builds now. There's much more build diversity in terms of viability. And they added an endgame mapping system to challenge your character beyond just hell battle runs. So there's stuff like that, but I recommend you guys give that a try if you're interested in Diablo 2. And we'll just hope that they allow that stuff to stay up, because yeah, I don't really think they're gonna give us anything else with Diablo 2 Resurrected. They might never. I mean, you'd think they'd give us a loot filter and stackable gems and runes by now. In fact, that should have been there upon release, because these modders do it. These guys don't even get paid for it. They take donations, but when they started out, you know, they weren't making shit. So if this big-ass multi-million-dollar company or billion-dollar company, I don't even know how large Blizzard is, or Activision, or Microsoft now, what is it called? You know, if they haven't done that already, it just seems like they're probably not going to do much else for Diablo 2 Resurrected. So I really wouldn't count on that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on these matters in the comments below, and like this video if you will. And blessings to my channel members and patrons for making these videos possible and inspiring me to make more. Links in the description below. May your contributions be brought back to you sevenfold, those who support me on Patreon and who are my channel members. And may you have many wives. Peace be with you.